What is going on, esteemed witnesses of the courtroom? This is the Croc here to bring you a Pokemon Stadium 2 Wi-Fi battle versus someone who's so unknown that he should be recognized immediately. This is Jimmy Neutricity. He's kind of new to the second generation Wi-Fi battle community, and I had owed him a match from a long time ago. The last time I played him was way back before PMP Beta, and I had owed him a match for quite some time, but we've both been incredibly busy. We are using Crobat for the Wins 2.1 N64 build, because I do believe Jimmy Neutricity has Win 8. So please check both channels out in the description, both my opponent and Crobat for the Win. Now, there is something very major I want to talk to you guys about, but we will get into that after the battle. So ignore the Skype window for just a sec. We're just getting set up. We actually did this battle live, but this battle is post-commentary, so I do apologize for that. So let's look at this team preview and my team. So my team, this is the same team I used against Blennium. For those of you that saw that battle, you're very well aware of this team. I've noticed a couple things in using it that need to change, but they won't be immediate changes. Of course, I have the physical offensive front of Muck, Ursaring, and Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl's kind of a pseudo reflect rest kind of thing as well for opposing Muck and stuff like that, because sludge bombs are never fun to take. And then I've got Brain Slow, Ethereal, and Reflita. Reflita is a team supporter. Brain Slow is a very special set that only you guys that saw that video would know, and Dragonite's pretty neat as well. Now look at my opponent's side, he's got a Clefable. My first thought, most dangerous thing in the game. It can drum, it has instant access to recovery, it has Bolt Beam coverage, it has Thunder Wave, it has Encore, so many things it can do. But the hero of this match is yet to be revealed, and it's an incredible match. Just both rounds and ends, misplays don't even matter as we get into that. So hopefully I'll be able to cut all this out. I don't know why the screen is flashing all crazy. I mentioned before, a lot of things that I do are free entertainment, so you do have these occasional glitches and bangs and bumps. So I do apologize for that. Like I said, the reason for the windows is, like I said, we had this battle live, so we set it up live, but we didn't commentate it live. Now back to the team preview. He's also got Houndoom. Houndoom is scary. It wrecks half my team with its head tied behind its back. It doesn't want to take the likes of Return or Sludge Bombs or any attack from Aerodactyl, but it can still hold its own late game. It's going to be a very dangerous threat that I've got to watch out for. He's also got a Muck of his own. I'm assuming by the team structure that Meganium is a team supporter. And Lapras could do a lot of things. It could team support, believe it or not. It can rest talk. It could be full-out offensive. It could be para. It would just be double para because you do Body Slam. It could do Para Fusion. It could do a lot of things. I'm actually very afraid of this Lapras. I don't have a lot to hit it. I've got to keep that in mind as I get into this battle. The entire goal of this match is going to be getting out Irragatium, and Irragatium is just going to be doing all kinds of work for me. So that is going to be the biggest key in this game. I hope you guys enjoy this game from Jimmy Neutricity and myself. And rate, comment, subscribe, and we're going to talk after the match. So, let's jump directly into this shocking, electrifying match in Vermilion City Gym. I'm leading Reflita. He's going to be leading Banania. Now, like I said, I really wouldn't think he would lead a Belly Drum Clefable. Now, if my opponent is indeed... I see now, obviously, commentating through Vegas, he's flashing his moves, but I wasn't looking at that during the battle. I had, my screen set up for that. Now, my Reflita is actually the Earthquake Counter Meganium that you guys know pretty well without Leech Seed. It's Earthquake Counter, Synthesis, and something else. And I was trying to think, okay, if this is Drum Clefable, this could be a problem right off the bat. I don't have a safe switch to Drum Fable, so I've really just got to play the way here. But he goes for the Thunder Wave here, which lets me know he's not Drum Fable by any means, because Belly Drum is a Gold Silver Crystal Egg move, and Thunder Wave is a first generation technical machine. So that is very much a relief. Now, I know this thing is probably going to be Bolt Beam coverage, considering that he has the Thunder Wave, because Thunder Wave, Bolt Beam, and Moonlight is a pretty good set, and it is not resisted by very many things in the entire tier. at all. By the way, like I said, if I didn't say this before, this is a borderline game instead of an underused game. I was confused at first because we thought we were doing underused. So I'm going to switch into Yoshi as he switches into Nietzsche, his Lapras. Now, Lapras, like I said, Muck, I can take pretty much everything from this thing. I've just got to be very careful. And he goes straight away for the Thunder, gets the para straight away. Gets a full para there. And I was like, okay, so this is going to be pretty much my explosion target, probably, because this thing is just going to be an all-around pain in the butt. And seeing the Thunder definitely leads me to believe he has the Ice Stab as opposed to the Water Stab. As a majority, they don't use both. I don't know how else this thing is going to be set up, but he shows Confuse Ray. So, Confuse Ray, Ice Beam, Thunder, and some other move that I'm unaware of as he switches into this Aerodactyl. A great play on Gemspar, especially because I am paralyzed, so the Earthquake will definitely threaten me out, because it's probably a 2-shot from that range, even with Aerodactyl. But he's going to go for the Ancient Power. He gets a crit on the switch into Brain Slow, and I'm pretty sure I can handle this thing. I'm not too afraid of it as he switches directly into Gylos. I'm just going to go for the Psychic. Really doesn't matter either way. I thought he'd switch into Meganium, and I figured Psychic was neutral coverage. So I just went ahead and went for that, and I'm going to be forced out yet again into this Aerodactyl, thinking he's going to explode. He plays an early explosion, and my arrow is down to very low health. But as you guys have seen that I've played, when I played Blanium, this is a rest Aerodactyl with the Mint Berry, so I'm not really too concerned about that. But Jim has a sneaking suspicion about that, so he's going to force me out by going into this Clefable, who has the Ice Beam, of course. And now, seeing that he's going to stay in here against the Slowbro, I'm pretty much confirmed that he has Bolt Beam coverage. So I'm going to switch into Meganium to check this, and he just goes straight away for the Thunder Wave. I knew he might also do that, and since I was already paralyzed, I figured it was the best switch. And as you can see, I could take non-stabbed Ice Beams for days as I set up this light screen, which overall is going to make dealing with this Banania, this Clefable, a much better thing than it would before. Now I'm going to be switching back into Yoshi, who's paralyzed, and I'm really not at a good range of HP here, but I've got to be careful exploding because I know he can still go into Aerodactyl. Even though he goes into this Meganium, I don't think this Meganium offensively can hurt me. Like I said earlier, looking at his team structure, it's going to be a support-based Meganium, which means other than possibly setting up Reflect, offensively it can do nothing. So I'm going to take this opportunity to go into Ethereal. Now, this Ethereal is actually pretty cool, and in this battle, I actually thought I was faster. I know Dragonite is kind of on the slowish side, but I thought it was actually faster than Meganium, but I was wrong, and he gets a Leech Seed up before I sub. Now, I was incorrect about this Dragonite set. I cannot remember my HP for the life of me, but I can't remember if it's flying or fighting, but like I said, so he brings in Banania again. Banania's got that Ice Beam. Gonna go for the Hydro Pump as the Leech Seed saps me. Ice Beam obviously gonna break my sub. I've just got to be very careful here because I really feel like Ethereal can be used later, so I'm gonna switch again into Yoshi. And from this point at 167, I was like, okay, don't want to rest, don't want to boom, don't want to switch, because I know he'll probably switch predicting my boom, but he actually stays in. And I was like, alright, I'm just going to rest. I've got the Mint Berry, I'm going to get back to full HP, so I'm at 413, and I can actually take attacks from this thing. Also, it's kind of a bluff Muck set, because most people that have rest also don't have Explosion as a secondary option, but I have both as a trickery form to lead an opponent to thinking I am a special wall as opposed to anything else. So, Sludge Bomb's doing some work here as this thing is also still paralyzed. Just doing some more damage, bringing it down to 3660 after Leftovers Residual Recovery, but I'm sitting at a healthy 340, taking these special attacks like they're nothing. I know he's going to Moonlight, and I'm just going to continue to fire off Sludge Bombs. I feel no reason to explode, and like I said, he's still got that Lapras waiting in the wings, which is most definitely a much bigger threat than this Clefable. As I said, figuring this Clefable is no longer the Belly Drum variant. So he's going to go for the Moonlight again, bringing himself up to a very good amount of HP. I switch into Aragatia, want to go for the return here. It is Polka Dot Bow, so that's 12.5 boost. Does a really solid chunk to Meganium. It's a 2-shot factor in entry hazards, which I don't have. So I'm going to switch back into Yoshi. Now, even with the Reflect Up, I kind of want to see how well this thing would take a Sludge Bomb, because I know Muck has a really high base attack stat, and that's why I'm not really concerned. And there's the first misclick of the game, going for the Reflect, but I was paralyzed in the same turn, so the turn's kind of null and void as is. So Jim going to come back out. I'm going to explode here with the Reflect Up. Very bad play on my part, be it that A, the Reflect is up, and B, Aerodactyl can take those attacks. And that was just a really good play by Jim, just outplaying me there, keeping his physical wall intact for that. As he goes for the Fire Blast, it actually does a really significant chunk. And I guess I was figuring it may have like hidden power flying, considering that he had ancient power, but he actually carries the wing attack as opposed. And the Reflect is going to go down. I thought that HP flying was more obvious considering it had more base power, and the game could have taken it one time and countered back for the kill, but no bones, no bars, not the case. So, Brain Slow's also one of those mint berry kind of things, and I'm going to be forced out by the Stab Razor Leaf, so I need to switch out into Reflita, and Leech Seed is a predicted move here as I take it well. That's actually a pretty decent color difference between QN and Reflita. It's got kind of like its lighter, shiny colors, but anyways, gonna go for Synthesis, get back up to 3 full HP after the Leftovers turn here, and really, offensively, neither one of us can hurt each other. I can't hurt it with Earthquake or Counter, and he can't hurt me with Razor Leaf, so this is not the matchup. So I'm just gonna go back into Ethereal. I know I can take Razor Leaf quite well. Like I said, I don't know what the hidden power is, but I was like, alright, screw it. Let's go for it. Don't know what it is. It's neutral. So that means it could honestly even be, it's not fighting, it's not flying. So I think I messed up this hidden power. I may have max statted Ethereal after on Pika save, so my mistake on that had happened. So now he's going to be switching out back into Jim. He knows very well that I cannot take an Ancient Power, especially from that range, so he's trying to get that kill off. I was like, I don't want to sack Dragonite just yet. I still have this thing to deal with Aerodactyl. He's looking and fishing for that boost, ladies and gentlemen of the courtroom, but he is not going to be finding it today, as Brain Slow is going to be faced with this Clefable. So Psychic going to be the neutral hit again. It really didn't matter between the Clefable, the Meganium, and the Aerodactyl. I figured all three of them didn't want to take a neutral Psychic, so that's going to happen again, bringing down to 68 HP. Get a full para, but Leftovers bringing it back into the yellow range of health. Psychic going to take out Banania, and there goes this Clefable, down and out of the way. It's a 5-4 match in my favor right now. So now, again, coming in with this Meganium, I was like, you know what? I know I can take one Razor Leaf. Do I really want to go for Psychic? Yes, I do. Full para, no full para. Just Leech Seed, which is definitely the better of the two. Now, he's probably figuring Razor Leaf after that is going to be enough to take me out. So we're sitting at about almost equal HP. We're just firing off our stab attacks, and I was like, nope, not doing this. He's going to Synthesis as I switch there into Aragatium, and I'm trying to get Aragatium in at the right time, because this thing is, I mean, he's just throwing his fist together. He's ready to fight. He's ready to go. Going to go for the Zap Cannon, predicting the Aerodactyl switch on the return, but that didn't happen. Going to go for the return again. It's going to bring this thing down nicely, and now it's Jim's turn to take the Para Hacks in the face as I D-punch, and now he's got Para Fusion to deal with now, which is definitely not fun. I'm trying to force this Meganium out before it can Synthesis again, because I want it dead. It's been a pain all game. This time he is going to be switching into the Arrow a lot more obviously than the last time, but I still go for the return. It still does a really solid chunk. I think he's going for the burn there, but he's not going to find it. I am going to get the Zap Cannon hit in the para, so now it's down to 106. And now I can switch out freely into Slowbro or Ethereal. I was like, okay, if he goes for the wing attack, then I can bring an Ethereal one time. I can go for the Hydro Pump and try to finish this thing off. And that would be the end of that. But for some reason, I don't go for it, and I don't know why. I guess he just switches here. I guess he predicted that Hydro Pump or something of the nature and just goes into the Meganium. Now, the question is, can the Meganium take the return? No, it cannot, and down goes this support threat that has been looming all game. Now, here comes the scary thing, Nietzsche. Nietzsche is very scary. Looking at the rest of my team, the best thing to take it on, I don't have Ancient Power Aerodactyl, So that's kind of a problem. And I have this thing. So as long, I mean, I've already seen Thunder, which I know it can hit with that. So that's kind of a problem too. And I know very well it can take a Psychic. So I'm going to Confuse Ray and switch out into Reflita, predicting that Thunder going to take the Thunder very, very nicely. And I was like, okay, like I said, now it's got Bolt Beam coverage, and I see Confuse Ray. What is the final move of this thing? I don't even get what this thing is trying to accomplish right now. An Ice Beam going to come down, going to do a very, very significant chunk. I'm at 115, guys, and I cannot take another Ice Beam, so I've got to figure out what I want to do here. I do not sacrifice her yet, and you will see why later. Just going to go into Ethereal, and the final move of this thing is Reflect. Now, at this moment, I was like, alright, Muck would have been great to have around, but I don't have it, so I've got to just go with what I got. I've got a 4-4 game going on. And this is, 4-3 still in my favor, and Reflita is going to come back out. Now, I'm going to set up the light screen immediately. Since we're both paralyzed, that is why I did that. That is exactly, I had to get a para on this Lapras, and that way I can set up the light screen. Because now, I know he's probably going to switch, and it really doesn't matter one way or the other. He's still faster because we're both paralyzed, so I'm going to switch again into Brain Slow. Brain Slow can take pretty much everything from this thing. I've just got to be very, very careful the way I do this. I'm just going to go for the Surf. It is going to knock Jim out, and down that goes. And now it is a 4-2 game. Now, what I basically figured is I need my light screens as many turns as possible to deal with this Lapras. It is my only chance to beat it with a Gyakuten. It returns probably a 3-hit KO factoring leftovers, which that just shows you how much massive HP this thing has. Now, I'm also trying to whittle his turns around that he's going to use Confused Ray. I'm trying to get around that by switching out so I don't have to deal with any confusion hacks, as he just goes for the Ice Beam on the Slowbro. Now, that works out pretty well, because now I'm just going to go straight away for the Psychic, because I need damage on this thing. He's going to crit Super me with the Thunder, and now he's at 350. So, basically what I need to do here is I need to make sure that I could get up another light screen, but I can't because down goes this thing. So that entire plan kind of failed. I knew that I would need it, and I just couldn't get it. So now it is all up to a Gyakuten. I do not know why I don't go for the Dynamic Punch. Jim did ask me in the battle, in the chat, why I didn't. I said, dude, I need damage so bad I can't risk it. So, return going to come down. Bring him down really low. Leftovers bringing him back to the yellow health. 200 HP left on a Gyakuten. Reflect's going to come down. I'm going to hit myself with Confusion. Basically, I was like, alright, I need to hit him as hard as I can. Ice Beam going to bring me down to 23. Return going to bring him down to 35. 63 after leftovers. This is heating up at a 2-2. Fully para, Confusion, and down goes Ursaring. I needed that so bad, and now, like I said, with that turn of putting up Reflect, it saved him the game, because from this point, I could easily take him out with either one of my attacks. And I was like, alright, I'm just going to rest, because I know that I could take this. And I mess up right there. I don't understand why I didn't just attack, because I could have taken it out with 2 shots, and that would have been the end of Lapras. But then, it would have left him just with his Houndoom, and it could have been a very close match. Now, what I want to talk to you about, guys, number one, if you can't tell the narration a little lacking, me and Chas are very sick. I think we both have, like, upper respiratory infections and a couple other things. But I'm still working and moving along, guys. But I want to talk to you guys about a second generation giveaway. Stadium 2 is one of mine and Chas's favorite Pokemon types of games and tiers. And I guess I'm inspired by Zabuza the Water, who did a lot of Little Cup stuff. What can I do, what can me and Lexx do as players to get you guys into second gen? Would you like us to, get some Pokemon that have some alternate colors and give you the trainer IDs and put them in Pika-Save and give you the files so you can battle with them on Stadium 2? I mean, I understand the reason people don't want to play Stadium 2 is because of the team preview, but the chip damage is the same in both the Game Boy Color and Stadium 2. I just feel like Stadium 2 graphically, and it runs really, really, really well. So, I really want to do a second gen giveaway, so please drop some ideas in the comment section below about that. Sorry for all the Skype windows for a live battle and stuff like that. And the final thing is we are trying to switch up our tags and a little bit of our content. I was thinking, I have a lot of ideas to stream different things if I ever stream again, but with monetary value becoming kind of a smaller thing, I have to try to prioritize my gaming interests, and that is the main reason why I'm coming to you guys about a lot more Mario Party on the channel and stuff like that. I'm trying to get your ideas. Believe me, I have some of my own, but I definitely want to give the viewers as much input as I can without feeling like I'm making the channel only in a way to stay popular, because I refuse to do that. But as always, if you enjoyed this Stadium 2 Wi-Fi battle, please rate, comment, subscribe. Go check out Jim's channel. And as always, objection! And find the computer room, and peace.